I know I'm not alone in this, struggling with managing screen time with my toddler. It's a major concern for me, my wife, and for basically any parent that I talk to, and any parent that listens to the show writes in and asks me about strategies. So that's what we're going to do today, because in the summertime, I feel like my kid wants more and more screen time, which would be the exact opposite of what you think, right? Nicer weather outside, more time to play. Wrong. They're bored and they want to watch TV or get on the phone. So we're going to talk about 5 strategies today that I'm going to try to implement in my life, and I hope you guys will too, and let me know. This is the Better Mental Health for Kids and Parents podcast. All right, everybody, welcome to episode 39, Screen Time Strategies. I am Dr. Christopher Fasano, your host of the Better Mental Health for Kids and Parents podcast. Now, on this podcast, we will discuss all of the relevant mental health topics and how they affect our youth and those that care for them. For all of my listeners now watching me on YouTube, greetings, guys. Hi, I'm on the video there. You can find me on YouTube. I'm going to tell you how to get there in a second. You can still get me at bettermentalhealthshow.com, iTunes, Stitcher Radio. I appreciate all of the love, all of the consistent downloads and listens, guys. It means a lot. It means you're at least appreciating what I'm saying, and you're taking it. Whether you're using it or not, it doesn't matter. Again, it's all about the conversation. It's, the only way we're going to learn is if we have a back and forth, or if we actually talk about it. That's the point of mental health awareness. It's not so much that you have to go out and seek help, but it's the fact that you're talking about how you feel. That's the number one thing, being self-aware, being aware you feel a certain way, and talking about it. And this show aims to provide topics for you to talk to your kids about in some sort of fashion. Whatever that is, however you think that's appropriate. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to talk to you about things that I think are relevant as a parent and as a neuroscientist, as somebody that understands the brain. Go back to the YouTube thing again. I am on YouTube now, and I haven't really announced it, made this big YouTube announcement just yet. There's a reason for that. I've mentioned I'm transferring my website over to become more of a mental health for kids content site. It's going to have articles and all sorts of things. So I'm going to wait to really announce the YouTube channel once that goes live. And I was talking to the developers, and I should be live this week, or at least be ready to be live this week. So shortly, you guys are going to get to see that. I'm really excited for you to do that. But I want everybody out there listening right now to do me one favor. For everyone that downloads and listens to this every week, either right now or after the show, I want you to go to bettermentalhealthshow.com. You're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. On the bottom, you're going to see little social media icons: Facebook, LinkedIn, and then you're going to see the YouTube icon. It's a little icon with a little play button. I want you to click on there. It'll take you to the YouTube site, and there'll be a button that says subscribe. I want you all to subscribe to it. And the reason why I want you to do that is, I want you to subscribe so you can watch the videos, but in a couple weeks, we have a big guest coming on. We have celebrity personal trainer Tony Horton, the creator of P90X, and I'm going to have him on the show. We're going to do a video and an audio sort of interview, and it is going to be fantastic, and I want you all to be able to see him and me have this dialogue, and so I want you to get ahead of the curve and subscribe before anybody else out there does. So go to bettermentalhealthshow.com on the bottom, click on the YouTube button, and do me a favor and subscribe. All right, and we're going to have more videos coming, not just me talking to you on the podcast, but I'm going to do more interviews. I'm going to interview parents and kids. I just want to get more feel out there, see how people are feeling and what they're concerned about, and I want you to be able to watch the dialogue as well, because sometimes people relate better to a video. All right, and so that's why we're going to do the video. So today, we're going to talk about screen time strategy. So before I jump into that, I just read a pretty robust study. It was one of the more robust ones I've seen on depression linked to social media, and they looked at 4,000 kids. It was a lot of kids over a long period of time. I believe it was 4 years. And they have a really, really strong correlation to basically being on your phone and social media and depression and TV. So it's TV and social media. Interestingly, gaming really seemed to have no correlation or effect on depression, so video games. But it's social media. And if you think about why that is, on TV as well, it's because you have image issues there, right? How people are being compared. Whereas video games, you're just playing to win or playing to advance, and it's not so much comparative. I think the only comparison would be when you go into your school and the kid is like, did you get to level 10? And he's like, no, I'm only on episode 5. Oh man, you suck. That might be some sort of maybe grounds for feeling guilty, but it's nothing to the extent of, oh my God, I look fat, she looks so much thinner than me, they don't like any of my pictures. All of that stuff is having a serious effect, and it's leading to depression. Suicide is climbing. All of those things are not good. And at the core of this is screen time and screen habits. And if we don't do it early, if we don't set those boundaries, and remember, guys, I always come back to this, the wiring the brain. Set the wiring right. Don't let it wire itself, because if it wires, we have to undo the wiring, and it's always harder to undo the wiring. So that is why I preach early intervention with this kind of stuff. It's the best way to promote healthy habits when kids get older. All right, so it's summertime. My kid is all over the place with the screen. I don't know what's going on. Daddy, can I watch a show? Can I use your phone? Can I see something? Can I look at this? And I'm like, dude, what's going on? What happened to you? We had like a good thing going with this screen time. All of a sudden, it's all breaking down. And I think it's because the routine is off. We have the kid in camp. Luca goes to camp, but we have off weeks where he's not in camp either all week or he's not in camp, for certain days. And on those days, if you're not keeping him active every minute of the day, he gets bored. And what does he do when he gets bored? He wants to watch a show. He wants to play on the phone. And it's a terrible, terrible habit for the kid to associate boredom and screens. So we have to be proactive as parents and to come up with strategies to sort of nip that in the bud. So I have some strategies I've been using. Some work, some don't. So I went out there and I did some research to find 5 new strategies that I can try. Some of them I'm trying, but I'm going to sort of re-up on them. And I want to go through them with you today. And I want you guys to try some of them out. And I want you to let me know how they work for you and tell me and my audience which ones work best for your kids. It's helpful if you guys tell us what the ages are, right? You can always write me, bettermentalhealthshow.com. There's a place where you can contact me. And on Instagram is the easiest way. You can just DM me and let me know what you're thinking. All right. So number 1, family time with no screens. This is important. I do this in my house, or at least I try to. What I actually did, it's kind of cute. I had my son help me make this little shoebox. I took it on vacation last year with my family. It's basically a shoebox with a little slit in the top. And at a certain period of time, we do it right before dinner. You take your phones and you put them in the shoebox. And they stay in the shoebox for a defined period of time. By that point, like 5:36, we leave him in there until he goes to bed. So what we have is a defined period of time where nobody is on screens, nobody is on TV. And it's expected and it's known in that time we're interacting. And we typically have dinner, and then we'll play something. We'll play a game, or we'll do something. If it's nice, we go outside. And that defines a moment in the day where it is absolutely certain that the parents, most importantly, and the kid are off screen. Okay? And if you do that every day, it really, really will wire to make that child know and think that this is acceptable, that there is times of day that it is really important where we're not doing anything else but looking at each other in the eye and talking about how we feel. I like to do it right before dinner time, because then I have a very strict rule about dinner that there absolutely is no devices, no TV, no nothing on during dinner. Sometimes we play music at a low volume, but dinner time for me growing up was always about communication. It might have been the only time my whole family got together to communicate, and so we really try to emphasize that by making everybody pay attention. Okay, so that is having some sort of no screen defined time. Okay, so that'd be the first one. I'm looking at my list here. All right. So the next one we got here is making it a privilege. Now, this is one of the strategies I try, and I failed at it a couple times because you just get lazy. But I feel like it's a really good strategy, and I want to get back to it. So what does that mean? What it means is that don't make the screen time something that is expected. So my kid knows that he's going to eat dinner around a certain time. That's okay, right? Your child should know that he's going to get dinner. What he shouldn't know is that he's going to get to use your iPad or your computer or your phone at any given time. And I'm going to go into this a little bit more. Make them earn it. Let me give you a good example. When I grew up, we didn't have all this sort of technology. What we did have was certain days where I could watch TV. And a lot of those times, it was Saturday morning cartoons. So we had back in the day, for everyone that can remember, a period of time where there were cartoons on Saturday morning, and I got to sit in front of the TV and I got to watch them. And I was never really allowed to just at random and at will watch TV, but I earned it. I did my schoolwork all week. I did whatever I had to do all week, and I knew on Saturday morning that was going to be my reward as long as I did what I had to do. Nowadays, it's not so easy. Kids have 24/7 access to technology. They feel like, oh, can I watch it? We give it to them. So we have to come up with a way to make them earn it. So how do we do that? It's hard. What I've done, and I think the best way to do it is, and I just actually today redid this chart, is I make a chart of sort of things that my kid does. He listened, he read a book, he went outside and played, he cleaned up after himself. Anytime he does something that's good or deemed to be good, he'll get a sticker or he'll get some sort of, note of reward. And as he's doing that, he's building up sort of his earnings to use towards his screen time. It's not like a money or a monetary thing where he needs 10 to get a show, because that gets weird quickly. They start doing things and that's not what you want. But what you want to do is want to be able to have a conversation with them and say, hey, today you had a good day. You did these things, and so because of that, you earned some time on the television. You earned some time to play this game. And they will actually appreciate that, and they will their brain will associate good behaviors to a screen or some sort of outcome, okay? And number 3 ties into this. Don't make it part of the routine. The two go hand in hand. I've been terrible at this, and I'm trying to break it. What does that mean? So every morning now, talking about Saturday morning cartoons, that's a routine? Maybe. But remember, I had 5 days ahead of that where I didn't have any of that, okay? I earned it. The routine would be every single morning at 8 o'clock, you get to watch a show. Every day when you get home at 4:30 or 4 o'clock, you get to watch a show. After dinner, you get to watch a show. Before bed, you get to watch a show. What happens there is the brain is now associating part of your day every single day to a screen, and it becomes expected to get it. Now what happens? The brain becomes more sensitive to anticipating screen time. Now the kids will go to school. There are screens everywhere in school. The kid sits down in class. Maybe they have a TV somewhere or a computer over there. The kid looks around. He scans. He sees a screen. It's not on, but the brain anticipates now, oh, there's a screen there. I know I get it frequently after things. When is that thing going to turn on? Why isn't it on? When can we use it? Is it going to come on? Why can't I see it? And that's what happens to the kid. The kid gets all jonesed up because he's always anticipating after said number of hours, the reward of screen will come. So I would suggest that 2, like I said, make them earn it in some way. Make it feel like they can get it if they accomplish things that are good. And 3, making it part of the routine is not good. It doesn't mean you don't have to let them use it every day. It just means when it comes during the day, it's best to be some sort of haphazard way, not at the same time all the time, and not after every single thing that we do. Once we do that, we create a weird loop in the brain, and what you're going to find you'll do as a parent is you'll start to be more lax. Yeah, all right, you can watch it. Yeah, and then it just sort of the routine expands, and it's all the time. All right, so those are 3. All right, 4. This is particularly useful for older kids. My kid is 6 now, and it works with him pretty well. I really enjoy doing this, and he gets a kick out of it. And this is something, as he gets older, I think I'm going to do more and more, because I know I'm going to have to do the video game at some point. He has no video game. He doesn't have an Xbox or a Switch. I know it's coming soon, and this is the way I think I'm going to handle it. Contracts. So there's a lot of literature out there on making contracts with your kid and your toddler. And you sit down with them and you kind of help them, you do it together. So look, we're going to make a contract. You know what a contract is? Well, what's a contract? A contract is something that we both agree on. You're going to sign it and I'm going to sign it. And there are going to be terms in there. And so let's say this is your video game contract. Here is a video game contract. Every day or every other day, whatever you want in the contract, you will get to use your video game, your Nintendo Switch, for 1 hour. You will get to use it for 1 hour if you do the following things. And after that 1 hour is up, you are shutting it off and you go outside or you do X, Y, and Z. If none of these conditions are met, the next day or the next time in the contract it says you can use it, gets nulled. Now, you can make it as crazy as you want to. You can make it as fancy as you want. You don't have to. But the point is, you write it down, they sign on it, and you sign. And what it teaches them is responsibility. It teaches them that when they agree to something under said rules, they must follow the rules. Otherwise, they don't get what they want. It also teaches their brain to know that they just can't get things at will. As a kid, and nowadays, white glove syndrome, we take care of everything for them. Remember, we talked about being resilient. If they don't feel like there's some sort of structure and there's some sort of rule, then their brain wires to be at large. It just does what it does. So the contract is a nice way for them to feel like, wow, I'm getting a reward, but I know that it comes with certain rules. And if I break the rule that I agree to, I don't get it. Now, where this can go wrong in the younger kids, if it's too young, they're just so excited to get the Nintendo Switch, they're just going to sign anything. And that's why you got to be careful with the age. So you would know your kid best. If you know your kid can handle and understand the rules, then a contract is an excellent way to go to sort of take them to that next level, something you're scared of doing, like me, video game, or God forbid when you got to get him his own phone. This might be a good way to regulate him, and I've done a contract with him before, and it seemed to work. We didn't do it for any sort of screen time. It was something else, but he really did follow the rules, and I think it's a really excellent way for older kids to regulate usage, and I'm going to implement it with my own kid. All right, 5. Here's the last one, and again, this might be for a little bit of an older kid. So one of the things that I want to do with my son is not just tell him, no, you can't. But I want to explain to him why. So what I'm trying to do, number 5, is teach them about screens, teach them about media, educate them to what's going on there. So what do I mean by that? So I was talking to my son yesterday about video games, and he was asking them about them. He asked me if I had them, and I said, yes, I had them when I was older. And so I tried to explain to him, listen, it's not that I don't want you to play video games. It's not that I don't want you to be on the phone or watch TV. Of course I would like you to do that. I do it. It's fun. I understand. But there's a reason why, and here are the reasons. So for a 6-year-old, what I try to tell him is that the more you watch these shows when you're young, the more you think that that's the way the world is. And so as you grow up, you're going to think when you're out with your friends or out at school that what you're seeing on TV is actually happening in real life, and it's not. So what we have to do as parents is limit that for you until you get older and your brain is able to handle understanding the difference. Okay, so I just try to do basic things, basic trying, he'll shoot back with an answer like, well, I watch Wildcrats, and Wildcrats teaches me about animals. And I say, Luca, that's exactly right. You're exactly right. There's nothing wrong with you learning about animals. But what you don't understand is that the cartoon and the colors and the sounds that's going on is affecting your brain in a way that you just don't understand. It's affecting your learning. It's affecting how you track information. It's affecting how you hear things. It's affecting your ability to focus. And you can't really understand that right now. And that's why it's my responsibility as a parent to limit that until you can. So as you get older, you can watch more and more TV, and you can get access to more screen time, because I know that your brain can handle it. I even know you think you can. These are the reasons why. It's putting context to your no. If you just keep telling the kid no, they don't get it. So I try to provide context. Even if they don't understand the full context, you're giving them a reason. It's not just no. My father used to say all the time, Dad, can I do that? No. Why? Because I said so. I hated that answer. And I know now as a parent why he said that. But because I said so in the no, it doesn't help. It just makes the kid more anxious. So we don't want any of that. Give some context. All right, so I had 5. I'm going to give you a bonus one, and I think this is one of the most important ones, so I'll leave it here, is that we, as parents, we got to get off the phones. We really do. I look at my wife, she's sitting there on the phone. My kid is there, and she turns back, he looks at me, I'm on my phone. I'm not holier than thou. My phone is attached to me, and I hate it. I really do. But it's a problem, and the kid is going to do what we say. And it's hypocritical for us to tell them and regulate their strategies and give them context and all these things if all we're doing when we're with him is we're on the phone. So we, as parents, the number one thing we can do, besides trying to be clear about their rules, is to show them that we can function and that we can be human without screen time. It's really important. And so I stressed, I believe it was number 2, we put the phones in the box, shows them that we don't need them. All right. When we're interacting with him, I don't have the phone down. You do the hide thing. I'm doing it right now in the video. We're like, and you have it below where you can't see you. They know. They're not stupid. They know what's going on. We have to set the tone. We have to make them see that it isn't about the phone and the TV and all of the stuff and Instagram all of the time. It is about interaction. look each other in the eye. It's the only way to be. All right, guys? So I hope you try to implement some of these strategies. Let me know if they work for you. And if none of these work and you guys have your own strategies that you find to be really exceptional, please let me know. Let us know. If you let me know, I will tell everybody on another episode what's going on. I really appreciate all the feedback. Again, guys, go to bettermentalhealthshow.com. Down at the bottom of the page, click on that YouTube button and subscribe for me. I want to see those subscriptions go up after we release this episode. Don't just be strong. Be mental strong, everybody. We can do it. We can control these kids, and we can teach them that it's okay to feel and that it's okay to look someone in the eye and talk to them without the help of a device. All right, guys? I'll catch you on episode 40. Talk to you later.